Hey y'all, this is Treacherous Slayer and welcome back to my channel. And before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now y'all, today we're about to get into episode 5 of Pretty Little Liars Summer School. Now y'all, this episode was just great and fantastic, and I was just at the edge of my seat the whole time. So the episode starts with, the girls helping Farron recover from her test from last episode with Bloody Rose, which was the holding the plank for 2 hours test, which was grueling, plus a near-death fight and everything. And y'all, they have to look up a little YouTube tutorial on how to stitch a wound together, and it was just so erratic, and panic consumed all of them. It was just nice to see them all, still together throughout everything that just occurred last episode. So, which is a typical night for the girls. The girls then help Farron calm down and everything, and Farron confesses, she said she calls me and I go there and meet the bitch, okay, I'm here and I'm ready, so what are you gonna do? So they all agree that next time Bloody Rose calls, they all answer together and then go fight her and face her together, which is obviously a smart plan, especially given the circumstances. Now, they also go over possible suspects, and they also inform Farron on what she missed since she was too busy, doing her test. When they found out that Dr. Sullivan was also Rose Waters' doctor at the Radley back in Rosewood, and Farron's face, y'all can just see her. She's like, wait, what? She's like, so this is a tea I missed and everything. So she was glad to hear that. But then she asked them, okay, then if Rose Waters was with y'all, then who the hell is Bloody Rose? So I guess they're not the same person. And they're all like, yeah, I'm starting to believe that that's pretty much the case right now. So they all agree that they'll add Dr. Sullivan to their list, given that she just conveniently gets wounded and end up in the hospital as the girls are getting tormented by Bloody Rose and everything. So she's definitely on the top of the suspect list and everything. And I'm like, yeah, because it's kind of oddly convenient. It's giving very much, Jill Roberts from Scream 4, if you get my drift. Spoiler alert, by the way. Yeah. We're then thrown to Noah just having a little mini breakdown at her home. And then Jen walks in like, okay, what's wrong with you and everything? And she confides in her and tells her that her friends are going through hell, basically alluding to what happened last season. And Jen's like, okay, you don't want to talk about it? I'm just here and I'll be basically your shoulder to cry on and everything. And y'all, did she just cry on her shoulder, y'all? As y'all can see, she, tells her she don't want to talk about it, leans into her and everything. And then pecks a kiss on her arm or whatever. And y'all, she does the unthinkable. Well, it's kind of expected at this point. She kisses her, y'all. And then as she kisses her, it escalates. Now, girl, I didn't mention this last episode. I'm like, now having your Esposito bail your side chick out is just nasty work. And I mean nasty. How are you going to keep this up, no, girl? Amiga, what are you going to do? You're going to have to choose. I hope you realize that sooner or later you're going to have to choose between them. So that should be interesting to see, y'all. Y'all tell me who y'all think she's going to end up with in the comments, because it's getting real messy now. So as we flash past that, we then see Imogen confiding in Tabby about her date with Johnny and how she kissed him. And then Tabby gets all excited. She's like, wait, I kissed Christian too? I was like, yeah, y'all both just kissing these, men you just met. But I'm hoping they're good for them, because they truly do deserve a good guy, given what Clip Chip put them through last season. So please, show creators, please let these guys be good for Imogen and Tabby, because they definitely deserve it. I don't know how they're going to be able to trust again if these guys turn out to be shit. So please let them be good. I know I'm not the only one in this. Now, as they, fantasize about double dates and whatnot, we then go to Thursday, the next morning, and as y'all can see, y'all see Noah laid up in bed with Jen, they just didn't do what they did last night. And then y'all, speak of the devil, Sean come banging on the door like, Noah, you in there and everything? And then I'm like, oh my gosh, they finna get caught up. They finna get caught up. And then, like, she gets up, she's like, okay, coming, babe. Like, one moment, whatever. And then Jen just, like, casually stirring in bed or whatever, just unbeknownst to all the mess that's about to, you know, befall them. And then Noah, you know, walks in the living room and meets Sean. He's like, yeah, did you forget we were going on a run earlier? Like, we got the marathon coming up and I just used my key to come in. Everything good? Everything? Oh, she was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. It was just like a rough night last night. And then Jen come out in a long sleeve. Just you could just tell, look at her face, like, yeah, I was just all up in that and everything. And she was all, you know, just casually like, yeah, she's mine. Like I told y'all last episode, she did say, not that boy is mine, that girl is mine. And she said that's on period. So, as he was like, oh, hey Jen, what are you doing here and everything? She was like, you know, I couldn't sleep last night, you know, basically Noah helped me with that and everything. And then Noah just like sided her like, girl, okay, shut up, you talk too much, like, hush. And she hurries up and rushes Sean out the door. He's like, bye Jen. As y'all can see, Noah's face during this whole ordeal just killed me because she like, why are you talking too fucking much? Like, you really trying to let this man know that we fool la la last night? Like, you're talking too much. Like, this is supposed to be on some, you know, your best friend stuff. Like, keep it between us. And, yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think how that's gonna go, because I don't see it going really well, given, you know, the style of the show. So, we shall see. Then, yeah, we speed past that. And we then see Noah and Sean just going on a run on the trail or whatever. And as y'all can tell, this scene is very foreboding for the events to come later in this episode. Now, as they stop for a break and everything, he just asks her, like, okay, like, are you good? Because you kind of, like, spacing out on me and everything. Like, everything all right? Like, you forgot we was going on a run and everything. And we're like, what's up with you? And she's like, look, I want to apologize, like, for not spending as much time with you and being so busy and gently with me. And I'm like, amiga, you're talking too much. Like, tread lightly, because, you know, yes, Despacito's, you know, really listening to you. So, as she apologizes to him about that, and he's, like, super understanding, because he was like, I mean, no worries, you're going through a lot, your mom's in rehab and everything, like, I'm here for you, like, and I only love only you and everything. And he gets there, I'm like, and, like, kissing, like, your man right after you just laid up with your side chick, just right after, just diabolical. I'm like, y'all are just freaks. Oh my gosh. But y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think, because he's a little bit too understanding. Like, I think that he knew they was already up and laid up with each other, because he got a key and everything. He could have easily peeped in the room when they were already asleep and then pretended to be just coming in the door, like, you know, prior to that, when he was just barging in on the door just to see what she would say and see if she would come out with the truth then. Because, like, he's kind of being too understanding, if you get my drift. Like, y'all let me know, do y'all think he knows that she creeping in the park after dark with Jen? Like, y'all let me know. Like, I really want to know the tea. I know y'all want to know the tea. Well, we know the tea with that, but come on now. Like, who y'all think she gonna choose? Now, we speed past that. We then see the girls, you know, having a casual day at school, in the library. And then, like, they're just theorizing on who Bloody Rose could be, you know, drawing suspects on. Because, like, now that, you know, Mouse and Farron had their test, obviously Noah's test is coming next. As they're sitting on edge with that, Farron's phone start ringing. They all freeze and look in horror-see their faces like, oh shit, who the hell is that? And then Farron just like, okay, y'all chill. It's just Henry lame ass. So, when she declines it, and look like, okay, why'd you hit the decline? Like, ain't that your man or whatever? And she was like, well, thanks to this summer, we really haven't been as close as we used to. And they are like, okay, what's going on between you and everything? They want to know the tea and everything. I was like the rest of us. So, like, she explains to them, like, how he's grown distant and spilled all their business about her lying about not wanting to dance anymore to the church and everything. And she didn't appreciate that much. And he should just confide in her face to face rather than just blabbing to the church with his big mouth ass. I was like, exactly, why are you telling everybody else but the person you need to be talking to? Communication is key, babes. Now, even though obviously that was Farron's karma in a sense for not coming out with the truth sooner, but at least she finally spilled the beans, and she didn't have to spill the beans to her friends first before she did to you, sir. So, yeah, I didn't agree with that, but obviously since he talks too damn much, she feel like they don't really get that much longer in their relationship, which was very foreboding. But nonetheless, we then see Imogen going to a solo session with Dr. Sullivan and basically being incognito, since they're all suspecting Dr. Sullivan now, since she's obviously sus as fuck, because why were you Rose Waters' doctor back at the rally and you didn't disclose this information to the girls? Even though I get doctor-patient confidentiality, but still, you should at least alluded that you were her therapist or whoever you were to her at that time. Seems a bit sus, but we'll see how that plays out. And then as Dr. Sullivan asks her, like, yeah, you really caught this meeting sudden, like, everything alright, and where the hell are all the other girls at? And then I know she, in her head, like, damn, she's like, oh my gosh, have I been found out? Like, do they know? And it was just like, oh no, they're deciding not to come at the moment right now. Everybody's just so busy and everything. And then she was like, oh, okay, so what's on your mind and everything? And she was like, how do you know Rose Waters and everything? The girls, we found out that you were her doctor and everything, and why you didn't tell us, knowing that her son was the son of a bitch that tormented us last season. So why would you hide that information? Obviously, she brought up the whole deflecting clause of doctor-patient confidentiality, that kind of thing and everything. And then she, constantly pries for information to see if she will crack and everything. And Imogen was like, oh no, just being safe and everything. And we might, dial back on these sessions a bit and everything, so. And I also want to know, like, where were you last night? She was like, doing Zoom meetings with patients, like, why, I can't disclose that information either. She was like, I'm just wondering if you were, like, putting that ankle to work or whatever. I was like, that killed me, not putting that ankle to use, that little broken ankle, but yeah, we shall see. So, we speed past that. We're then tossed to the swimming pool where Farron and Greg are working, and Farron's just like, putting up the little lounge chairs by the pool or whatever, and then Greg asks her if she needs any help, because obviously we know her arm fucked up, but not too fucked up to the point she can't use it. So he's being his usual, jocular self, and just constantly being facetious with her and everything. I'm like, now we know what you own, Greg. Like, you're not really being subtle at this point anymore. Like, we known this, since 2 episodes ago. Like, you've been trying to shoot your shot. Just calm down while you're ahead. But anyways, Farron's like, you know what? I'm done with this shit. I'm done with your shit. Let's do this. And he like, what? Let's do what? And y'all, she just beats his ass in this arm wrestling match. And all the other rest of the lifeguards just cheering him on and everything. He almost has to jump on her, y'all, because her stitches started tearing, but then that pain, and I love how that surge of pain motivated her more to beat his ass. Just I think it also triggered her with the fight that she had with Bloody Rose last episode. So I love seeing that parallel between that. I just love little moments like that in shows. So that was nice to see as she gracefully beat his ass, and he tried to play it off like, man, I'll let her win or whatever. No, just take the ego crush and blow and go away. Now, after she beats his thirsty ass at the arm wrestling match, we're then tossed to the Orpheum where Tabby and Christian are discussing their favorite Friday the 13th film, since they're about to have a summer Friday the 13th premiere at the Orpheum. Like, that's premiering Friday the 13th part 1 and 2. And I love this scene so much, as Christian asks her, like, okay, so which one is your favorite sequel, or whatever. And then she discusses how she loves part 2 because she loves how the final girl is a psychologist and uses Jason's love for his mother as a weapon against Jason in the end. And I love that too, because obviously, who doesn't love Friday the 13th Part 2? That's definitely one of my favorite sequels as well, because the chase scenes, the costume, and not to mention the score is just amazing. And also that wheelchair kill, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, y'all. That was one of the most funniest kills in horror history. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all definitely need to watch Friday the 13th Part 2, because that's definitely one of the most top tier horror sequels ever. And obviously, that's when Jason was first introduced. So let me not spiel into that much longer. But now, as we move past that, we then go back to Sean's mom confronting Noah at the pizza parlor about, like, why did my son give you $2,000? And then she was like, did he tell you that? And she's like, no, obviously I'm over his account, so why the hell did he give you $2,000? And she was like, well, money's been tight, and my mom just got out of rehab. She was like, I thought your mom was out of rehab and clean and everything. Like, so what is it? Like, is she out or is she not? Like, tell me. I'm like, this woman, like, this mother-in-law is straight from hell, because she will not let up on this girl. Like, leave her alone. Adios. Bye. As they go back and forth with that, she basically tells her, like, okay, so I don't really care where you use the money for. Like, you just gonna owe me that $2,000 back. You can stay the hell away from my son. And she was basically like, adios, pendejo. So she was gone. And then Jen was looking all salty in the background, like, damn, Esposito bailed me out, and now I gotta fix it. And then, y'all, her solution to consoling Noah about this whole debacle was, well, maybe you should break up with Sean, so you gotta deal with his, familia anymore, and all this pressure with dating him and everything. And Noah, like, check her, like, who the hell said I was gonna break up with Sean? Like, that's my husband. Like, you're crazy. Thinking I'm gonna, like, choose him over you, basically. Like, oh, because at this point, she probably definitely would have been did that by now, but I don't know, y'all. Who y'all think she gonna choose? Because I don't know, it's up in the air at this point. So y'all let me know in the comments who y'all ship her with. So as we speed past that, we then go back to the creamery where Johnny is asking Imogen about their kiss or whatever and how she feels about that. And as they, like, feeling all giddy with love and everything, her daddy walking, Imogen's dad. And then she looking all shy like, what are you doing here? You never come to Millwood. And he just catch up with her like, oh, well, I wanted to come talk to you about something. Like, I've been seeing someone. She's like, okay, yeah, good for you. Like, is that all you wanted to tell me? Then he was like, oh yeah, by the way, we're engaged and I want you to meet her. And y'all look at her face like, since when you engaged? Like, you don't think you should disclose this information to me sooner? Like, I'm your daughter, obviously. So, like, why the hell are you just not disclosing this information? And then she's like, okay, I'll come to dinner and meet this mysterious, out of nowhere fiance that you have. Okay. She's like, okay, Dad, bye. And then we go to Henry trying to convince Farron to come to the Church of Our Mother Holy Grace just for a nightly teen Cairo meeting. I guess that's what Kelly called them. When they confess, like, to cleanse their moral compass, I would say. And I guess he convinces her, and she was like, okay, whatever, I'm just doing this to show you that I still care just a little bit. But y'all could just tell by her face too that she over it. Like, Uncle, like, you didn't ask her how she feeling after the attack. Like, you ain't paying attention to signs. You just over here so, oh, come to the church and everything. I'm like, and since when are you so immersed into this church, sir? Like, you know the pastor over here bending over your friend mama, spread eagle up in the confessional booth. Like, do we not all see that in the church? in God's home. We all seen that. Like, be serious. Okay, and he convinced her to do that. Then we're back at the Orpheum, and you know, Tabby and Christian are getting ready for the Friday the 13th rush or everything, and just discussing like movie details and everything. And then Wes come out of nowhere. Now, I knew ever since he stood up for Clip Chip's lame ass, like in a second episode, talk about something, maybe you should cut him some slack or whatever. And then she's like, what? That he was gonna be on some bullshit. Now, at first, I was slightly rooting for this man, but now he hit her with some, oh, I'm not gonna contact the professors because, like, I did my research on PIFT, and it looks like you're basically just someone they chose for diversity since they've been getting attacked for not being diverse. And then Tabby looks at him like, I know you're not playing a race card right now. They only chose me for a diversity hire just because I'm black and everything. And like Christian's like, not right, it's because she's talented. And then he's like, no, well, they're known to be, you know, racist. She was like, okay, first off, I work hard, I'm talented, and just because I'm black, that doesn't like devalue my work and everything. I was like, right. Because obviously we've seen horror movies that flourish with, like, obviously the people of color on them, like Scream 2, Wrong Turn 2, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. It always proves that the black demographic has to be involved somehow for it to succeed, or nobody's gonna watch and the franchise is gonna flop. So, have we not learned this? Like, be so serious. And then he hits her with the, well, you don't know how hard it is for a straight white man. I'm like, I know he did not. And she's like, okay, you really want a challenge? I challenge you to go cold turkey, you know, upload a short if you even have one on your portfolio, and then we'll let the public decide, you know, no color, no face. They decide on which movie is more qualified to be submitted to PIFT. And he was like, you know what, fuck this. Like, he just shakes out his socially inept ass, like, you know I'm your boss, like, you can't talk to me like this or whatever, so you know what, you two could deal with the Friday 13th marathon and everything, I'm out and everything. I was just like, you burn out. Like, are you serious right now? You really playing victim with a teenager. And like she said, you're barreling the 30, and that's on Train to Busan. I was like, eat them up with those horror movie references, Tabby. Just show them, like, that you're the number one Scream Queen, like, period. Like, you know your shit. You're, like you said, the next Jordan Peele. So, as Christian, you know, consoles her with that and everything, and Wes's, you know, crushed ego ass walks away in despair and pity. I was like, so, Bloody Rose, please test him. He could go next. I really don't care. He should have been gone ever since he stuck up for Clip Chip. I'm like, why are you still here? Please, I want to know, like, why is he still here, breathing and everything? Be for real. Okay. Then, as we speed past that, Mouse catches Lola on Spooky Spaghetti watching this, like, Bloody Rose worshipping video, and I guess this Bloody Rose cult. Now, I told y'all, there's a cult. There has to be, like, a cult stalking these, because Bloody Rose can't be everywhere at once. I'm looking like, what is she, like, Roman Bridget from Scream 3? Like, girl, you can't be, like, doing that all at once at all these different locations that you just conveniently pop up at. Now, y'all listen to the comments. I told y'all, Mrs. Beasley's still one of my number one suspects, and Mrs. Langsley, and Dr. Sullivan. Now, definitely Dr. Sullivan. She just, like, screaming red flags at this point. But y'all got me intrigued over here to talk about potentially Ash, too, because I still find it odd how he popped up at Bloody Rose's cabin and everything. So, yeah. I don't know. And also, I'm starting to think Sean knows something, too. I don't know. It just sounds he's been too reserved and quiet this season, too. Like, he's just been in the background. Like, he's, like, too cheery and I don't know. There's something off with that display of affection. I don't know. Something's off with that. And I really want them to be good. I don't know. Like, it's... I don't know. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. But anyways, House catches Delulu on Spooky Spaghetti watching the Bloody Rose worshipping video. And it obviously later on convinces her to cut herself across the forehead because that's what the Bloody Rose followers did. And Mouse was worried about that as she had a nightmare about that. Then it's also Our Mother Holy Grace where Farron is listening to a session filled with like the congregation and everything. And Kelly is the first to speak as Pastor Malachi tells the first person who's like have something on their chest they need to spill out, spill it and everything. And Kelly confesses that she was jealous of Farron's talent and everything, and how like that made her spiral into hurting herself and everything. And when she was hurting herself, she found a friend in Farron when Farron like told her like, you don't have to do that, like you're strong and you're beautiful and everything. And she was glad that she found a friend in Farron, and especially after she lost her sister, like she definitely needed that moral support. So that was nice that her and Farron held hands. And then the person I least expected to speak up was Greg, as he confessed how he was like just giving Farron shit. Like he just cussing all out in this church and everything. I'm like, Mrs. Beasley just so disgusted with like the delivery and everything. And he just says how he respects how strong and beautiful of a young woman she is and everything, and he respects her. And then she was like, oh, thanks, Greg. And then Henry Noodleback ass got to save face, so he's saying his narrow ass up and be like, I want to apologize publicly to my girlfriend for like basically not talking to her when I like basically confined in the church first and everything. And she's like, yeah, like not you trying to save face, like Greg already basically stole the show. Anyways, now I will take Greg off the list, but Bloody Rose, you can still get Henry and West. Henry and West are still up for the taking. Please do. Have at it. Have a field day. Go on, just have a field day, Bloody Rose. I support it. Now, we then toss to Tabby and Imogen going through Dr. Sullivan's office to find out what she has on them girls and like why she hiding all this information. Then like we see some Easter eggs of the OG liars, like Arya's file, Spencer's file. Like it was just nice going down memory lane from the first series and everything. And then Imogen finds her file, and then she sees that Dr. Sullivan's shitty ass been keeping record of everything they've been saying, like word for word and everything. Like she's creating something. Obviously, we're trying to find out what she's creating later on. And then Tabby like, look at this, I found a digital recorder. And then she was like, she's literally been sitting here recording our conversations. And Imogen's like, okay, ain't that illegal? And Tabby's like, yes, like this is definitely against the law and everything. Like I don't understand why she's doing it. So these therapy sessions are officially over. I'm like, right, because what the hell are you doing? Dr. Sullivan, explain yourself immediately. But after that, the next day they decide to all the girls confront Dr. Sullivan, as they decided in Imogen and Tabby's room, like, okay, we're gonna confront this bitch, and she's gonna basically stop all this and tell us the truth. And they do that. The next day they go, and they like barge into our office on business and everything. And she's like, oh, girls, what is this surprise and everything? And then she's like, oh, like, we noticed you've been, recording us, and that's illegal and everything. And then she's like, and then she quickly tries to deflect. Oh, wait, no, that's just for this book about adolescent survival and how you're going to help the next generation if they're dealing with something similar, especially with the Mill War Massacre. Like, that's going to really help this book, like, reach a lot of people and everything. So then they're like, Farron was like, that's fine and dandy, but we didn't consent to that, and that's against the law how you was recording us. So she was like, well, I'll be gladly to, like, redact any audio that you feel uncomfortable with sharing. And she was like, that's not the point. The point is you violated our trust, and therefore we don't want to see your ass anymore. And then, like, they all decided if you choose to release any of this information, you're gonna have a lawsuit on your hands. And then I was like, yep, bye, bitch, and thanks for nothing, basically. And then they all leave, except for Imogen. She lingers a bit. She was like, if I really thought you cared about us and everything, but now I see your true colors. You stay the hell away from me, and you stay the hell away from my friends. And that's on period. And as she leaves her looking salty and everything, and then the therapist all shook, like, damn, like, what do I do next? Then we speed past that. And then we're tossed back to the school where the girls discuss Dr. Sullivan's, like, debacle as she tries to deflect the severity of the situation with her lying ass. I can't believe she withheld that information that she was Rosewater's doctor back at the Radley in Rosewood, but I don't know. Obviously, confidentiality purposes, we get that, but still, girl, you should have told the truth, or at least alluded to the truth. Anyways, Mouse tells them about the Bloody Rose challenge trending on Spooky Spaghetti, and how Delulu ass participated in it. And y'all see Delulu ass got the bandage on, thought like she devoted followers. So I'm like, yeah, Delulu need to take her medicine. But Delulu end up in the land of above. So, as they decide on what to do about that, by just sticking together and everything, we're then tossed to the Orpheum, where Tabby suggests that her and Christian organize the Friday 13th premiere at the old Camp Millwood site, since Wes's pathetic, inept ass decided to ditch them, and for some odd reason, I don't know, Audrey, if you're the boss, you should still take care of your establishment regardless of your personal feelings. But obviously, the brain's not braining, so he ditches them, and then Christian's like, okay, that's a good idea, but don't we need a permit? She was like, fuck a permit for now, we gotta do this, and we ain't finna be up here melting like chocolate. So he was like, okay, we could do this. And then they speed past that, and they were then back to Sean confiding with Noah at the pizza parlor, and he's like, oh yeah, I talked with my mom and everything since she disrespected you and everything. I decided to move out and live with a friend or whatever. He was like, can I stay with you for a bit? And she like, with me and Jen? I'm like, yeah, girl, with you and your side shit. Cause like, I wonder if he already sent something off with y'all, so there ain't no point of hiding it now, so. Everybody loves counting, y'all, but anyways, oh gosh. We're then tossed to the swimming pool with Farron applauding Greg for his honesty and everything. Like, she was like, you know what, I didn't even know you had a human heart beating within that, meathead chest of yours, so I'm glad that you told the truth about something that you actually feel honest about. And then she asked him, like, so what do y'all do in those Cairo meetings, like the upper, echelon of the group or whatever? And he was like, well, I'm not part of that upper faction. They usually do, like, I guess, praising their Lord and whatever in a private section of the church and everything. And he was like, honestly, he just go there for the snacks. So I was like, real, because if you ain't got no food, well, why am I sitting here? Where the food at? So I agree with Greg on that. He was like, better have some food or I'm going to snooze. So we then flash to Imogen meeting her new dad's fiance with Johnny. And he was like, oh, you brought your friend for ice cream? I was like, yeah, because she's definitely going to eat him. So yeah, they casually have this dinner or whatever. And then she was like, oh, you look better, than the pictures and everything. She was like, oh, thank you. He was like, okay. Not awkward at all. And they talk about how they met or whatever. And then Johnny asked the dad, like, how's it working at the quarry and everything. He was like, oh, it's like honest work or whatever. And then Rebecca says how she's proud that she's met her dad and everything. And she shows the ring to Imogen. And Imogen has a mini flashback of, like, when her mom had the ring. And as a little girl when she was playing with it. And then her whole mood changed, like, y'all, like, it immediately emotionally triggered her, which was valid given what happened to her mom. And then she was like, why the hell do you have this ring? This is my mom's ring. How'd you get it? And then her dad, invertebrate ass, oh, I can't stand him. I was like, oh, you're so annoying. He was like, oh, actually, that's my family heirloom. That came from my mother, so it's actually my ring. She was like, no, you have no right, because, like, when she died, you were nowhere to be found and everything. So, like, you would assume when she died, you would give it to your daughter. I was like, right, because once you want to continue the legacy, when that belonged to her, then Rebecca, I don't know why she opened her ugly ass around. She opened, the ring doesn't belong to your mother. And then this caused Imogen to snap it. I was like, get it, Imogen. Imogen stood up and I said, she was like, look, either you give me that ring back right the hell now, or she picked up a knife and she's like, I'm going to cut it off your finger right now. Then she's like, I mean, gosh, are you insane playing Karen? And then daddy with his noodleback ass over here. Look, no, put the knife down, Imogen, you need to leave now. I was like, but you invited her, dumbass. Like she said, you literally didn't come to the funeral after the mom died and let her deal with all that emotional turmoil. She literally got tracked down by a serial killer. Like, she was like, you're literally a fucking coward, and don't you dare call yourself trying to find me ever again. Because this relationship is over. Like, I don't want to see or talk to you no more. And then Johnny and Richard are like, yeah, look, it's not worth it. Let's get the hell out of here. Thanks for the dinner. We out. And then Rebecca looking all salty. Because I was like, yeah, bitch, shut up. Because you're new. You're brand new. Like, the drama was definitely elevated in that scene. That was a very good scene. And poor Imogen, she's just been going through it. Then, us to Fearon going to meet up with Henry at our Church of Mother of Holy Grace. And catches him doing this, like, worship of whatever they're doing. Some, like, praising worship thing. And it obviously looked quite botched. And it looked normal to her. Because they were all sitting in a circle, candles all lit. It looked like some exorcism, like, demon summoning ritual to me. Because I was like, right, like, what the hell y'all doing up in? Y'all can tell by the look of her whore that Henry catches her. And they all, like, stop in unison. And, like, turn around and look at her like they all just possessed. And she's like, oh, hell no, this. She booked that corner and she went outside the church with it. He's like, oh my gosh, unfair, you weren't supposed to see that. I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. Like she said, obviously. So what the hell was that? And then he's like, look, I know, like, we've been having trouble, and I really want you to, like, you know, hear me out and do this again and everything. Like, she's like, okay, what's the real deal? Like, what are we doing here, Henry? Like, do you want to be with me? Or do you want to just indoctrinate me into the church, you and Kelly ass? Alright, because I was like, Kelly, what is your little ass doing too? Like, come on, girl. I'm like, you supposed to be a liar. Like, be for real. And she gives him an ultimatum, like, okay, either you gonna choose me or you gonna stay in the church, so what is it, Henry? And then he don't, obviously, you can see his nervous ass face as she gives him this ultimatum. Then he obviously makes his decision. She's like, well, you made your decision. Well, we're officially broken up, and have fun doing whatever the hell this is, and I bet, you know, see you around, bye. And then she leaves him there in his salty pit of dysfunction. So, as he's wallowing, I was so happy. I was like, thank the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. And I was like, she did outgrow him. Like, she confided in the girls, like, she felt like she outgrew him. She definitely outgrew him. Like, no. She could do way better without him. And we're then tossed to Johnny supporting Imogen's outburst by bringing up the fact that he doesn't get along with his dad either. And he asks her about her mom, and that makes her feel better and everything. See, I'm like, see, now, Johnny, now I don't want Bloody Rose to come after you now. You're safe from Bloody Rose's clutches for now, hopefully. Please, I hope I don't speak too soon, like, because he seems good for her. Like, he's always there when she needs it, especially in her time of, like, those traumatic triggering events in her life. And he's been there every step of the way. I'm like, okay, so I guess you're not, you know, a narcissistic hoe like I thought you were. So that's good. You actually are boyfriend material, and I really hope he stays boyfriend material and not into, you know, torn into pieces, you know, by Bloody Rose later on. So hopefully it doesn't end up like Clip Chip. Now, we then go back to Noah's apartment where she goes in and she sees Jen just chilling on a table, like, here's the $2 grand. And she's like, oh, where the hell you got that? Jen checked it, like, look, don't ask questions you don't want answers to. And she was like, okay, I ain't gonna say shit. So she was like, now you get back to your seat though, and then we can get back to doing what we was doing. And then as she relishes in the fact that she got the money back, she looks over to the table to y'all, here we go. The first reminder that Noah's test is about to start. We see a bundle of roses and a letter that says Noah. And it gives her directions on what to do and everything. And it says, like, you come here alone and by yourself, or one of your beloveds die. And then we see flashes of, like, her kissing Sean and Jen and everything. And then she has to convince Jen to leave, and Jen being all self-absorbed, like, oh, you're choosing Sean over me. I'm like, no, girl, she's trying to choose to save your damn life, so you need to get the hell out of that dough and go. Andale, vamos. And then, like, she convinced her to finally leave by saying that she will always choose Sean over her, blah, blah, then obviously she gets pissed and leaves. I'm like, okay, thank you now. She hurries up and rushes to her test. And then, we're then tossed to Camp Millwood, where the girls and everyone are getting ready for the Friday the 13th premiere. Imogen and Johnny are serving ice cream. Ash and Mouse like kissing in the theater part. I'm like, okay, this is a nice little setup, and all the Friday the 13th fans got their Jason mask on. Then Noah arrives to the trail where her and Sean were jogging at prior, and we see Noah's letter, and it says, as y'all can see, the final girl must have a high threshold of pain. Take off your shoes and start walking. And y'all, I thought Noah was gonna be straight. She was like, okay, plural shoes. Nah, y'all, she take off her shoes and socks. I was like, oh, hell nah. Like, and then she eyes those roses. I was like, okay, there's roses. But obviously, we know from the promos that, like, obviously, what those roses gonna lead her to. And as she was about to hesitate and leave, she hears a barking and she hurries up to take off her shoes and socks. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's about to start. And then as she starts to walk on the path of roses, we flash back to the premiere where Farron, like, stumbles in as the main character in Friday the 13th Part 2 is getting, like, chased by Jason. And the group asks, like, Farron, like, okay, what's going on? And she was like, I broke up with Henry. Then she tells them about the weird cult-like behavior that's going on at our Mother of Holy Grace. And Mouse is like, not unbelievable, but it actually makes sense. And they're like, yeah, no, it was here. She would be like, Jesus, like, well, yeah, I didn't see it. I would have seen that coming or whatever. And then Imogen was like, right, okay, speaking of Noah, where the hell is she? And then they all have a look of realization, like, oh, shit. And then we toss back to Noah. As she reaches, like, the middle point of her test, she flashes the light on a bed of thorns, like stems from the roses filled with thorns that fills the rest of the path. And I was like, oh, hell no, barefoot? She already punctured her feet on one of them. And then she turns around, and y'all, we see a big-ass, like, German Shepherd dog. Just all black, look like he mixed a wolf, like he from Game of Thrones, like one of the Stark wolves or something. And then Bloody Rose holding him, and then, like, no, yo, like, okay, what do you want? Like, why are you doing this? And then she just held her head, like, really, Amiga, like, I'm gonna answer you? You really think I'm gonna answer you after I did all this hard work? And then Noah just fumes, and y'all, Bloody Rose lets the dog go, and then he accuses the chase scene, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, Noah, run, andale, rapido. I was like, hurry up and run. She started running, y'all, puncturing her feet in those thorns. I was like, ooh, just ignore mind over matter, just like Farron had to endure in the last test. As she, like, books and the dog is, like, hot on her heels, y'all. I was, like, so scared. Blood on the bottom of her feet, thorns embedded in her feet. I was like, oh my gosh, the pain. And then y'all, I loved how they blended this. I gotta give it to the showrunners. Y'all really know y'all stuff when it comes to the slasher elements of it. And as a slasher fan, I want to continue to apply y'all. And Maya, you did a fantastic job in this episode. Like, you really sold it, especially when they blended the Friday the 13th Part 2 chase sequence score with Noah running and everything. And even when she tripped and fell down the hill, y'all, I was so scared. I was like, well, she finna hit a log, get knocked out. The dog finna, you know, have a little nibble on her feet. But then, y'all, she hits the, like, street after she tumbled down that hill. And, y'all, out of nowhere, we see a pizza car and everything, and it's Jen speeding. And she's like, get in. I'm like, now, I've seen this on Twitter, so y'all pointed this out. I'm like, where the hell did you come from? Just miraculously to the rescue and everything. I'm like, Jen, you're sus. At first, he wasn't on my list, but you a little sus for that. I was like, how you conveniently at the path where Noah ended up falling at and everything. But she did save her from the dog, because the dog was literally finna, like, bite into her, a bone fresh out the pack. And as they shut the door and the dog down there busts through the window, Jen speeds off of Noah, and then Bloody Rose pets the dog, just stares at them down, and then the episode ends. Y'all, I don't know. It's getting real hectic out in Millwood at this moment. Like, I don't know. So, y'all tell me who y'all think Bloody Rose is, because it's so many suspects now. Like, the suspects keep popping out the woodwork. And I see some of y'all theorizing about how Ash could be part of this somehow, too. So, it'll be interesting if it's one of the boyfriends. So, I told you, because Sean a little sus, because he's been a little too quiet. And it's like, he's being too lenient on Noah and, like, Jen and everything. Even though he's not... He ain't really putting the pieces of the puzzle together, if you get my drift. Like, too quick for my liking. So, I'm like, what do y'all think that is going to happen with that whole debacle? And I really hope Johnny and Christian are sane, because Imogen and Tabby really deserve this breath of fresh air. Like, these girls have been through hell. Like, they 16 years old. They need to be past the geometry, like they said early in the episode, rather than running from a damn killer. Like, these girls need to be successful in their future endeavors in life. And Bloody Rose needs to lead them the hell alone and go track down Henry and Weston subtly race his ass. Now, y'all let me know what y'all think is going to happen in the season finale, because we know Tabby is about to go through it. Like, we just know she's about to go through it. So we know the next episode is Hell House, so I don't know. And we see that the Redemption House play is going to be taking place at Imogen's old place, so it's giving, like, Euphoria Season 2 finale, like, bitch, is this play about us energy? So, yeah, we're about to see. So, y'all stay tuned for episode 6 recap and thoughts. And I'm Treacherous Slayer, and I'm out. And y'all, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and drop y'all comments. Like, let me know who y'all think Bloody Rose is. Like, we need to discuss this. Like, I'm definitely gonna need more seasons. Like, seasons 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, just endless. So, see y'all later.